Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to another episode of Robot Rumble 2. In today's episode, we are going to be creating a fun little robot that you guys have voted on in the previous poll that I left down in the last episode. So without further ado, let's jump on into the workshop and start talking about this robot. Okay, we are here in the robot lab, and in today's episode, like I said before, we are going to be creating a robot that you guys have all voted on. Now here's the thing though, in the previous poll that I left, there was a tie. There was a tie for the number one. Oh, what am I gonna do about that, huh? I bet you guys are thinking we're gonna be creating both in today's episode. No, we are going to be letting my cat Luna decide the fate of what robot we are creating in today's episode. So without further ado, here's my cat.
So I am here with my cat, and she's a good girl. She's a very good girl. And she's going to help us decide what we're going to be making in today's episode. I got a fly swatter written on one of these, and I got Tokyo Drift written on the other. So I'm gonna put down two of her little treats that she really likes it. She's a bit chunky, so she'll eat them. But we're gonna put one treat on one and one treat on the other, and then she is going to decide what robot we are going to be making in today's episode. The bait has been laid, and now it is her turn to figure out what she wants. She will decide eventually, if she's not too busy just sitting there. Come on. She's moving. She's moving. Oh. Oh. She's thinking about it now. She's thinking about it. Get moving. She started loafing. We might have to give her a little push to do it. Yeah, you like that. Give it a little closer push. She's thinking about it now. She wants to. You can do it. I did just feed her, so she might not be super interested right now. But she's gonna eventually, because she's a big old fat chunk. Alright, we're gonna give her one more push. We're getting awfully close though. Now you can smell the treats. Oh no, not the time to bite your paw. Oh. You're so close. Oh. No. Oh. She did it. She's a good girl. She went for both. She's trying to go for the other one. Good job, Luna. Good job. This one has one though, right here. Let's take a look at what it is. We are going to be doing the Tokyo Drift robot in today's episode, thanks to Luna, the cat. Yeah, good job, Luna. She's walking away. She doesn't care. She doesn't give one shit about this.
Alright, thank you Luna, thank you for deciding our fate in today's episode. So with that being said, we are creating the Tokyo Drift robot. This comment was left by Chris. Chris writes, okay, want something interesting to make? Flipper that drifts, aka set the material of the tires to steel. Do know for steel tires you must use hollow cylinders in extra selection instead of, tires. I'm excited for this robot just because I feel like I say this every episode, but this is a good thing. I haven't made a robot like this before. So I'm excited to get into this. I have an interesting theme that I want to stick with, especially that's going to go with the whole Tokyo Drift kind of theme. So without further ado, let's jump and start creating this chassis And this chassis is going to be I don't know how to explain. It's going to be very simple just because this robot is going to be a flipper. Alright, so now that we have the chassis down and I got the motors connected that I want to for the wheels, I did a little bit off camera just kind of designing the wheels that I wanted to. This isn't going to be the actual wheel itself. I'm still going to be adding one more thing on top of it. The plan that I'm doing for this robot, by the way, is in the movie Fast and the Furious. There's a car. I believe it's a Mazda or something like that. It's like this orange and black, really cool looking car, and I'm gonna try to mimic that robot into, or sorry, I'm gonna try to mimic that car into a robot. And I think we have a pretty good plan going. I'm planning on because there's a in the picture there's a black stripe that kind of goes down the entire middle of the car right here, so it would be like this space, and I'm trying to make that part the actual flipper. So hopefully it can work out. I still have to work on these wheels. And I wanted to do this on camera just to show you guys how it's done. I think this is going to actually work fine right here. We're going to use the mid-hat hollow cylinder for the actual wheels itself. I'm kind of curious how this is going to come out. I think I have the other one set to 1.4. So we're going to try to mess with that. We're going to have to make it a little bigger actually. Let's put it at 2. 2 could be good. It might be too big, but we're going to have to mess around with it obviously. Alright, that should be good right there. It might be a little too big still, so we're going to bring this down to 1.9 and see how that works. Ooh, that looks much better already. Alright, we're going to use... Actually, no, it doesn't. It's kind of clipping through right here. Alright, so we're going to bring that back up to 2. And we're going to rock and roll with these wheels. They're kind of big, but it's okay. I can work with it. And we need to set these to steel. Just like Chris said, we got to set them to steel. I'm going to put them at black for now, and that actually looks pretty freaking cool. Because in the picture, they have like a rim that connects to a little white part right here. And I don't know, I think that looks really good. It adds some design to this robot, especially for the wheels, which I don't really pay attention to much, so I'm just glad that we're paying attention to it a little bit. Alright, so we got both the wheels down, and I think they look pretty good, to be honest. We can throw this robot in the test, and it's just going to be sitting there. We still have to plug in everything. I'm real curious to see how this robot's going to drive. So I'm going to throw in batteries, ESCs, and all that fun stuff, and I'll get back to you once we're almost set up and ready to go. With a little bit of messing around, I had to figure out that the gearbox ratio is going to be 2 to 0.5. A couple comments have been writing down that I should start using this continuous dynamic collision detection, and I am going to be using it for these wheels. So here we are, we're going to test out this robot, and I'm kind of nervous if I'm being honest. So I'm just going to spin it around. It doesn't seem bad actually. It seems like it has a lot of grip, which is good. Oh, there it is. Oh, this robot's Tokyo drifting. Oh, I like this actually. Oh, this robot's gonna be fun. It doesn't look to be gyroing, so that's good. I don't think it can gyro without a weapon, but oh, this is funny. This is funny. This robot's gonna be such a fun thing to make. It's so spinny. Like I'm barely hitting the turn button, and it's just like it's just sliding. Okay, this is great. The next thing that I want to start working on is the actual flipper itself, because if we're just running around with the slidey wheels, this robot's going to be nothing. So with that being said, we are going to focus on, I don't even know what I'm going to be doing if I'm honest. We're going to be making a flipper, and I think it's going to be pneumatic. We can do an electrical, but it's just not going to operate the same. And I think we're going to use this big boy just so it can get as much power off as possible. So I'm going to place this down, spin it around to where I want it to be. We're going to try to get a perfect situation going for this robot. And I'm not exactly sure how I want this yet. All I do know is I want this to be kind of a top-heavy robot in a way, to where the actual top of the robot, like the head where it would be the very, very tall is what I'm saying. I want this robot to be tall. but also not at the same time because I'm trying to make this after a freaking race car, a drag racing car, and I don't know if I can do that with it being like 8 stories tall. So I'm going to mess around with this and try to figure out the best possible scenario for a flipper robot while also keeping it somewhat sporty in a way. So I'm going to mess around with this. I might have to go to the next one down, which would be the 902, which would be this size difference, which is catastrophic almost, just the size difference. I wish there was an in between for these two. But with that being said, I'll figure it out. I ended up kind of getting what I wanted to on the first try, which never, ever happens, might I add. I essentially just kind of made a half cylinder right here, flattened it down, connected it to a long cube, and then I made a custom shape right here for kind of like a three-part flipping system, if that makes any sense. This is going to be a very similar robot to Social Distancing, a robot I made in a previous episode. So if you're going to take a look at one of those, at least what I'm planning on doing, it's going to be similar to that. My next plan for this at least is to just completely hook up the robot because I want to get the chassis to kind of angle with this in a sense. And I want it to kind of look like a sports car. That's the whole plan for this robot, is to make it look like a sports car. I'm going to have exterior armor that's going to kind of go over the wheels as well. It's kind of hard to explain what I'm thinking of right now, but I'm going to hopefully get it. But yeah, I'm mostly focusing on details right now just because I sat back, got a cup of coffee. It's late at night and I just want to chillax and do this, you know what I'm saying? This is a work in progress so far, so don't hold this all with a grain of salt. I'm just kind of messing around to see if I can get what I want. As you can see, it kind of looks like a race car. It looks like a goofy race car at least. I need to work on this part of the chassis because I freaking hate this end right here. Something about it just looks really weird to me, but I got the shape that I wanted to for the wedge. As you can see, the flipper part right here kind of like angles exactly with the chassis. It kind of goes at a little slant, a slight slant, but I'm able to work with that, you know. I kind of messed around with the spoiler as well because in the movie, I just want to disclaimer real quick. I've never watched this movie. I pretty much am just looking at pictures online. But with that being said, I feel like I can still do something pretty cool with this spoiler. It's too flat for my flavor. Like, this is just... I hate this part right here. I mean, I guess that's how spoilers are supposed to be. But, I don't know. Something about it just kind of like... It just looks a little off to me. So I'm going to be messing around with this. But for now, we're going to be trying to focus on getting some details down. And I was scrolling around and I saw these headlights. And I really want to somehow try to implement them. I don't even know, like, if I can, per se. Now, I can kind of make this look almost like a buggy in a way, where if I have that right there, I wonder if I could change the colors of these. I can. What changes, though? I don't know what changes. Does it change the color of the light? No, it does not. We can work with this, though. I think we could resize these as well if we want to. Oh, yes, we can. Ooh. Okay. I have a good idea, actually. Something kind of like that. Something kind similar to that. I like that. I like the look of it. And we can bring it out a little bit more if we really want to. Yeah, that'll look pretty cool, actually. So we're going to have the headlights going for this robot, which will be there. Then we're going to have some, like, headlight covers, in a sense, which will kind of connect. It'll cover this entire back spot. I'm not in love with the shape of it, but we can always tinker around with it, you know? Yeah, this is looking pretty good so far, actually. The headlights really did it for me, and I kind of want to do some... It's probably... This is a long shot, but... You know, like the brake lights in the back, I doubt I can do it, but whatever, you know? But the bot is coming together in a way... And I still don't have anything inside of it yet. It's pretty much completely hollow. I took away all the batteries, the remote controller stuff, all that fun junk, just so I can focus on the exterior of the robot, because I want this robot to look good. That's what most of these drag racing cars are like, in my opinion. They look freaking awesome, and then under the freaking hood, they drive fast. You know, they fast boys. I really want to do these headlight covers now. Now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like that could come out really good. I'm not sure the exact shape that I want for this, so I'm gonna place down like a half cylinder. That could be what I'm looking for. Let's try to get this where we want to. That can work. I mean, it's not the best, but it can work. Something like that. Let's just color it and see how that looks. There's not a lot of detail, but I'm thinking about making this part the darker color. Yeah, that could work. It looks really weird. This doesn't look like a car. Let me just say, I can't even draw cars, and I can't make cars in cars are hard, dude. Why are cars so hard? You know, like, I'm that type of guy that'll, like, draw, like, the goofy kid drawing car. Like, what's on the screen right now, you guys, who knows? I could have drawn that. I didn't, like, a 2-year-old drew that. But, it's like, that's what I would do, you know? Like, cars are hard, dude. I'm sorry about that rant. I didn't mean it. No, I did. I did. Cars are hard. Alright? So, anyways, I've been doing a little bit of work off camera just to kind of get this to look more like a car, you know? And I still haven't got it to operate. The insides are still empty, which I have to start working on. But I think I got the exterior almost done. As you can see, it's kind of blocky, but I think it works, you know? I still want to figure something out for right here, just because I'm not in love with it, and I might have like a cool little design to kind of go down and blend in nice with this part. The back looks great in my opinion, but yeah, I think this robot is almost done on the outside. I'm starting to like it now. It needs a little more detail. I have an idea for right here at least. This is episode 13, I believe, so I might just have a nice little 13 going on right here on both sides, just to kind of like, you know, number the car. I know most race cars are numbered, so I think that'll look pretty good if I add a 13 on both sides right here. I'm not in love with the color of these rims. The more I look at it, I think I just kind of want them black because they kind of look weird. And I'm not a big fan of the background color, how it's kind of like orange behind it, so I might mess with that. But the car's coming together. It's not even a robot anymore. This is a car. And it looks just as good. I can't drive it right now, but it looks just as good, kind of just sitting there. And I believe if I get this flipper correct, it can self-right itself as well, so I don't have to worry about any of that weird stuff, you know? So I'm going to hook up the innards of this robot, try to get all the gas valves going, which is kind of going to be a little difficult in my opinion, but we're going to figure it out. And I will be back once we can start driving this actual car and get it to, you know, drive. The robot is essentially done. Just gotta do a little more work on it, but I'm loving how this robot is driving. The flipper works pretty dang good. It does flip itself over often, which it's okay. Like, I can't complain about it, you know? I'm trying to figure out where the tank storage is, I guess, for the weapons. It's not for a motor, so I'm assuming it's this hinged piston, which the force seems to completely just keep going up. Kind of confuses me a little bit, but our buffer it looks pretty good. I think the storage tank pressure is what we're looking for. And it seems like it has a lot of tank left in it, so it can probably do like, I don't know, maybe a few flips. I'm not sure. Maybe like 10 flips, 15 flips. It's driving pretty well though, I gotta say. And then now I think once it gets down to this is when we don't have any left. Okay, I mean, that's good for me. I mean, the robot doesn't need to do a lot of flipping. It's mostly meant to flip and then get an advantage with the driving, because it can kind of like drive sideways in a way. It can drift. The one thing that I did do right here is I added the exhaust, and I actually added it so it's sticking out of the robot, because I know most robots have exhaust, or not, sorry, not robots. I know most cars have exhaust sticking out the actual back end of the chassis itself. So I think that's kind of the plan I'm going for. I think it looks good like that too. So yeah, this robot's almost done. I just got to add some numbers on the side, and then we're going to be able to start testing out this robot. So I'm going to get these numbers down, try to get them to look pretty good, and then we'll see from there. I got the 13 put down on both sides. This one's backwards, but it still works. It still looks good in my opinion. And I think this robot is good to go. I still haven't done this part or behind yet, which, do you know what? I'm doing that right now. Hold on. Ooh, this is looking good. I am liking this robot now. I kind of just added a cylinder, and I think that did enough, you know? I think that made it get pushed across what I wanted to. I also added the I think it's called shark is the technical term of the color, but it's like a navy color, a dark navy, and I put it across the entire bottom of the robot, so it kind of adds a little detail to it. I also made the bottom of the robot kind of a tread plate gray, so it kind of has that like the only way I can think of it is one of those Hot Wheels cars. That's the only reason why I did this, just because Hot Wheels has like the gray on the bottom, and I think it looks good like that. But yeah, this robot is done. It's pretty much done. It's a little overweight, but that's no problem. I can just lower the material of this. There we go. Got it down to 108, which I think is perfect for this. And our robot is done. I have been made aware that I did not do nuts and bolts in the previous episode, and I'm mad at myself for that. So we're going to be doing nuts and bolts in today's episode, just because nuts and bolts are fun, you know? They're always fun. So without further ado, guys, it's nut and bolt time. Nut and bolt. I'm going to change the color of nut and bolts to, yeah, that orange is really nice. Nut and bolt. 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 Nut and boot. Somebody ordered a nut and bolt right here. I don't know who it was, but they got it. Nut and bolt somewhere down here. I'm not sure where. Like right there, maybe? Yeah. Nut and bolt. One right there, perhaps, something. And one right there. Guess two down here. Two nuts and bolts. 2 in 1. 2 1 special. Another twofer. Nut and bolts. Nut and bolts. Nut and boot. Shamoon. Yeah, one right there. And another one. Alright, time to make the nut and bolts the shark color, because it's time to do more nut and bolts. Nut and bolts. Nut and bolts. Nut and bolts. Yeah. 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 What am I doing? Nut and bolt. Sneaky boy down here. I think that's good for nut and bolts. It makes it look a lot more like a race car now that I have nut and bolts attached to it. So it looks pretty good in my opinion. Alright, so we are done with this robot essentially. All we gotta do is name it. And I'm telling you, this whole entire time I've had no idea what to name this robot, and I still don't know what to name it. So, I'm gonna have a little competition down below, guys, alright? Hear me out. In the comments below, what should I name this robot? The name with the most likes will be the name of the robot. So you guys are going to be calling this one, alright? I trust in you guys to name the absolute unit that we have right here. For now, it's just going to be, yeah. But guys, it's time. Let's throw this robot into the Robomania arena and see what happens. You guys didn't think I would do it, alright? You guys thought I would just be a little like, maybe this guy's going to go up against like a horizontal spinner or something. No! Incorrect. We got a double flipper matchup today, and I'm very curious to see what this is going to come out to be. We got, yeah, going up against social distancing, a robot that was a huge fan favorite, by the way. A lot of people love this robot. It's a cool robot. I love this one a lot. So we're going to be watching two flippers go head to head to see how this comes out. I have a feeling social distancing is going to get a little bit of that underneath kind of advantage, but I guess we'll see just because it's lower to the ground. So without further ado, let's jump into this fight. Both robots are set up. Let's jump right into it. We got Ya going up against social distancing, And social distancing gets the immediate flip. Ooh, sends it airborne. And now Ya is underneath. But can it get the flip off? It's trying, but I don't think it can. It almost did right there. Social distancing's back underneath. Ooh, almost flipped out of the arena. It's looking good so far. Ya's trying to get underneath. It's trying to get the flip off. We might have to make that more powerful of a flipper. It's trying its best. We're gonna have to give it more PSI because it's barely getting that robot off the ground. Social distancing is celebrating, kind of. Here it goes. We got 2 flipper robots. Oh, flips over. Yeah. Can it self-right? It's trying to. It's trying to for sure. It might be out of juice, though, already. I might have to add an extra tank to this robot just because it seems to... Oh, it flipped it. It flipped itself over. It's good to go. It wasted some PSI with it, though. Or not PSI, some fuel. And here we go, back at it again. These robots are trying their darndest to flip each other over. Social distancing has definitely flipped more. It seems like the 13 robot I call Ya is trying to flip, but I don't think it can. There we go. There we go. It pinned it up too. It's getting the good flips. I think I set the range for it too close, so I might have to adjust it a little bit. Social distancing just spinning around. It flips itself over. That's not good. You can't do that. Gets another good flip off. This is a fun fight. Something about flippers, they love spinning around in circles. Trying to get another flip off. I think social distancing is out of juice, actually, which is not good. They're trying their best. Can another flip go down? Nothing yet. Social distancing definitely looks like it's out of juice. I have no idea with Ya. I'm definitely going to have to tinker with the AI in it before anything official happens tournament-wise. Getting good pushes. This robot definitely is a pusher, which is nice to see. I'm not noticing any of the Tokyo drift, which is kind of surprising, actually. There's another flip, and it gets flipped again. Ooh, now it's pinned up against the wall. Oh, it could get flipped out here. If social distancing had enough power, it would have definitely got flipped. And just like that, we go to a judge's decision. And I'm no judge. I'm no judge, but I'm going to say social distancing won that one. Leave a comment down below. Who do you think won? That was a very close fight, actually. I don't know who got more flips off. I'm probably going to have to review that. But like I said, this is nothing official. Eventually, once official things start, it will be definitely worth it. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. This was a fun robot to make. I don't think it's done yet, but like I said, I do all that tinkering stuff off camera once the episode is over to make it like finalized, and I have been doing that for most of these robots that I have been finishing in all these episodes. What type of robot should I make in the next episode? I still am looking for robot suggestions in the comments below, so if you have a robot that you guys want to see in a future episode, do not be afraid to write it down in the comments below. I read every single one of your comments, and even if you're a lurker, I see you guys there. I see some of you lurkers there. Make your presence known. I want to see you guys. I love chatting with all of you people, so don't be afraid. This is one big friendly community here, so do not be afraid if you guys are just viewers or anything like that. Make your presence known. I really want to have a conversation with everybody here. Also, check out the comments below to check for the poll of what robot we're making in the next episode. Make sure you vote before the next episode is released, because it may not get registered. I also want to give a big shout out to Golden. They gave me some huge advice on the previous episode with the teaming and the AI. I messed it up. I gave you guys incorrect information, and I do apologize about that. But if you want to check out a very smart comment, here it is on the screen. I did it completely wrong. I put the names in instead of the actual player 1, player 2, and all that fun stuff. So with that being said, guys, make sure you go check out that comment if you really give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up for me personally, because Golden helped me a lot on that one. And without further ado, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, night, weekend, or weekday, whatever it may be. And with that being said, guys, have a good one.